Hello and welcome to another of my YouTube videos. This one is a Jackson's art haul which I've collected over the last few months. So some of the bits from my birthday, some of the bits from treats, and some of them are just where I've saved up a little bit of extra cash. So I'm going to go through each thing with you and we're going to do some swatching and show you what I've bought. So we're going to start with these Ecoline brush pens. So the reason I bought these is I used to have Arteza brush pens that weren't, I don't think they're watercolour based, or you can't mix them and you can't add water to them and things, and you can't refill them. And I had two sets bought for me. I had one set I think I bought for myself and one set my mum bought for me for my birthday, but actually as I've used them they dry up quite quickly, and some of them I haven't even used since getting out of the packet because they just dried up. So yeah, I was finding that they weren't the best. They were more of a student grade pen, and then I saw somebody with these on a YouTube video. And these are refillable, which I'm very into eco-friendliness and everything, so that's what made me get these as well. So I've gone for the beige pink pack because I didn't particularly want different colours. So I'll show you what they're like. So we have 439, which is sepia light. Then we have 381, which is pastel red. Then we have 258, which is apricot. We have 374, which is pink beige. And then we have 420, which is beige. So I'm just going to swatch these out so you can see what they look like. So I've just swatched them out in my little swatching sketchbook. So this is the apricot, which is a really nice sort of like pale orangey peachy colour. Then we have pastel red, which is a lovely pinky tone. Then we have the pink beige, which is a nice sort of like skin colour for obviously white skin. And we have sepia light, which is a nice sort of deepish beige, and then we have beige. The thing I like about these pens is as you're working with them, obviously most pens as you're working with them they show lines as you're colouring in basically, but with these they sort of like the lines fade so you get more of an even coverage, which I really like. I like the fact that you can blend them, and I like the fact that you can add water to them and water the colours down, basically like watercolour. And they are actually, as I said before, refillable, and you get Ecoline watercolour in like a pot, a bit like this one from Dallarownie. They come like this, and then you just refill them, or you can use them neat from the glass jar like this. But yeah, I highly recommend these. I'm going to start using them on some new work. So yeah, I'll report back of how well they fare, how long they last, and everything like that basically. Now in this part of the haul, I also have two Ecolines in here. So I have the 579, which is the pastel violet. So the reason I bought this is you can very rarely get a watercolour paint pan in this colour. I managed to get one from Gansai, but overall you can't really, you have to mix this colour. So I thought this would be quite handy. I do a lot of florals and flowers, so that would be quite a handy colour to have. And then the other one I got was this colour. I used to have a Windsor and Newton pan, I think called Leaf Green, and it's been discontinued and you can't get it anywhere anymore, and I can't seem to get a watercolour again in the colour of leaf green. This isn't quite the right colour, but it's near enough colour. So again, I thought I would get this one. So this is 666 and this is pastel green. So they're the other two Ecolines, so I'm just going to swatch them out for you on the pad. So here's the pastel violet. It's a little bit darker than I thought, but I have done, I did a circle with one layer, and then I did this sort of half here as a double layer. So as a single layer it's more this colour, as a double layer it's this colour. But yeah, that's nice. And this one's again a bit more vibrant than I was needing. But it should do nicely for some florals, for some leaves, or some landscapes, for some sort of like grass and stuff. A bit of contrast to the darker greens that I've got. So yeah, so they're really nice. And those are my 7 Ecoline watercolour brush pens that I've got, which are a new art supply to take over from my Arteza brush pens. The next thing that I'm going to show you quickly and then use later. So I've been having a few problems when I've been doing artwork or working in my sketchbook. Using masking tape or washi tape, it kind of tears either my watercolour paper or my sketchbook. So I got this specifically as art tape from Jackson's, and it's low tack art tape. So I'm going to try this out and see how this works. I got it in a slightly thicker diameter. I think they do it in really small, sort of half this size, and then there's a thicker one, but it's quite a lot thicker. So I went for this one. So hopefully this will work, but we'll try it again later when I do some painting swatches. The other thing I bought was this brush. This is the Jackson's Quill brush in a 0. I've been wanting one of these for ages, these types of brushes, like a Chinese brush, but these are supposed to be really good for like florals, for like petals of the flowers, and also for doing like brush lettering and things like that. And it actually does nice details as well because it goes to a very, very fine point. This is synthetic because obviously I don't agree with having animal hair, but I just liked the way it's constructed, the detail, and it's supposed to be really good. It's got really good reviews, and I've seen a few YouTube channels of them using it, and it looks really good. So I'm going to be testing that out a bit later. Then back to this box, we have some Tomboy brush pens, which I'll go through in a minute. We have another Schminke Horadam super granulating watercolour, and this is in haze pink. Yep, haze pink. So I've got a few Schminke Horadam granulating watercolours, and I really enjoy using them. So this is the 5mm one. These were on special, on promotion, so that's why I got this one. This is specifically for a piece of work that I'm excited to do. Something very sort of nature-based, very natural. So that'll be good. Again, Roman Szhmal was on a special promotion as well, so I got this one. I've got a few Roman Szhmals, not many, I think maybe 2 or 3. I decided to go for this one because I do a lot of botanicals. I've started to do landscapes again and animals and things, so I decided to get this one, which is Green Earth. So I'm excited to try that one. And then we have this one, which I've been wanting to try for a while. It's called Misty Morning. This is a half pan by Schminke Horadam. And this is the swatch that it shows, which I was excited because again it's that sort of like lilac-y colour which I've been after for a while. But I did see somebody swatched it on a YouTube channel the other day and it looked more like sort of a very inky grey blue and not like this swatch at all. So more like what it looks like in the pan here. So I'm not too sure about this, but we'll swatch it later and see what it comes out like. Then I have this one, which is a Jackson's, and this is Quinacridone Gold. I got this as a little half pan. I got another Jackson's Naples Yellow, and I really like the paints. They're really quite creamy and smooth. And I chose this one specifically for the middle of flowers, for sunflowers, and also for bumblebees as well. So that's what I got that for. Then I have another 3 Neocolour 2s. So again, these are watercolour crowns. So you can add water to them and they become like watercolour paint basically. I've got 2 of these already. I've got one in a sort of jade green and a silver, which is like a grey silver. And then I've gone for this one, which is dark green. This one, which is flesh, and this one, which is Sahara yellow. And then I've gone for these 2, which are Derwent Intense pencils. I've gone for tan, and I've gone for Payne's Grey. So the reason I got these where I saw somebody on YouTube swatching these and I was amazed by the intensity of the pigment, and obviously that they are watercolour pencils, so you can add water to them. But the reason I don't really know, well I do know, I got the tan because I was looking for a sand watercolour pencil, which I can't seem to find anywhere. But this is actually, I haven't swatched this yet, but I did see somebody swatch it and I think it's going to be too dark for what I'm wanting. But I have found another one, a Derwent Museum watercolour pencil, I think in the colour I want, so that's on my wish list for next time. Yeah, and then I got Payne's Grey just because I'm quite intrigued by Payne's Grey. I got a Windsor and Newton half pan in Payne's Grey, and I was surprised how bluey it was, because you would expect it to be grey, but yeah, so and I've been doing a lot of illustrations for children's books, so I'm having to get different colours than I normally choose, because usually I would choose lots of greens, lots of bright or pastel colours, because I'm more of a floral botanical drawer, an illustrator, and animal drawer and illustrator. So going into different, like more sort of like, at the moment I'm doing a children's book illustrations about a forest, woods, and it being done like the autumn times. There's lots of like moody, muted colours which I'm not used to, so these are what these are for. So we'll be swatching those later. So I'm just going to start swatching the Neocolour 2s. So we're going to start with the Szhmal yellow. So I'm just going to do a long bit. And then I'm going to wet one half so you can see what it looks like when it has water on it. Just do the other ones first. So we've got flesh. Sorry about my writing, I made a spelling mistake. apparently you can sharpen these, and I do actually have a sharpener that fits, so that's good. And then the dark green, and quite a dark green. So I'm going to be using my paintbrush that I've bought, so the quill brush, not pen. So you can see that the crayon more or less sort of disperses and it becomes more like a watercolour paint. That's nice. Oh, I've got an odd hair there on the brush. And then the dark green. Oh, it's more of a bluey green than I was expecting when it's washed out. So that's what they look like. I'll hold up the sketchbook at the end to show you the colours once they've dried. So I'm just going to swatch out the Intense pencils. So we can start with tan and then Payne's Grey, and then we'll add some water to them to show them what they're like when they're water soluble. They're a nice smooth pencil, soft as well. Try the Payne's Grey. A yellowy brown. You can see the blue on the Payne's Grey. That's quite a nice moody sky blue actually. It's quite an inky blue. They don't work quite as well as the Neocolour crowns. You can still see some of the pencil through it. I don't know whether it's because my brush is quite a big soft brush. Maybe a smaller brush might get in there a little bit more. But these are the colours, and I'll show you again later once they're dry. So we're just going to swatch out the Tomboy brush pens. So we're going to start with the 3 individual ones first of all. So we have 533 Peacock Blue, 076 Green Ochre and 946 Gold Ochre. The reason I chose these ones were purely because I did a etcher class with Melissa Lakey, and I really enjoyed the mixed media work that we did. We did a really nice sketchbook spread of some place in America, and we used these colours and they work really well together. That's just my cat. Angel. Whenever I'm doing videos like these, she thinks I'm talking to her, so she talks back. So these pens have brush pen one end and then a fine liner or bullet pen in the other end, which is quite handy because I do use both styles. So I really like these pens. They've got a really nice intensity to the colour. Again, they're like the Ecoline. You can't see the lines very much, which is nice. And they are blendable, and you can add water to them to make them more washed like a watercolour. I just think these are really like nice Mediterranean colours. So we're just going to open this pack now. So I decided to buy this pack purely because I do, as I say, lots of florals and I like pastel colours, and I thought I'd use this pack more than any other pack, and this was cheaper than buying them individual. The only thing is, one of them I have doubled up on, which I was thinking it was this one that I doubled up on, but it's actually this one. Even though the colours don't look the same, the number and the name is the same, so we'll see if they come out the same when we swatch them. But yes, so I'm excited to try these. So we're going to swatch these out, and I'll swatch the other end as well, the bullet tip end. So I'm going to start with swatching this colour again, which is the same number as this one, where I got two of them, but the cap does look very different. So let's just see if it comes out the same. Yeah, it's more or less the same. I was going to say it looks a bit lighter and more purpley, but it doesn't. As it's drying, it does look just the same. So I've just got two of them, that's fine. I do a lot of landscapes and flowers, as I've said, so having an extra blue doesn't really matter. So this one is the pale yellow now. That's a really nice pale yellow. Then we've got pink. Quite a bright pink compared to the cap. It's quite a bright pink. And then the mint. These two seem to be one and that one really. Slightly different. Well, that one is actually the same colour as the cap, but the caps look more pastel-y. These look brighter in person. So I think when you're buying them, bear that in mind, that they come out brighter. I think because they're quite pigmented, they come out brighter than what you think. So for example, the pink looks quite a pastel pink on the pen lid colour, whereas it's actually quite a sort of like a really bright, nearly neon pink. Yeah, and the yellow was like a pale yellow, which is a pale yellow, but it's quite a vibrant pale yellow. And the mint is drying a bit darker as well. So the next one is the purple sage, which from the lid looks quite a nice pale sort of lilac, but the pen already looks more purpley and vibrant. It's not too bad actually. I thought it was going to be brighter than it is. Yeah, it's pretty accurate, I would say. It'd be interesting to see if we added a little bit of water. Actually, let's do that now. Whether it would wash it out a little bit. It's actually not doing anything. So I don't know if they are if you are able to water them down. So I'm just going to unwrap these paint supplies and then we're going to swatch these as well. So this is the Roman Szhmal Earth Green. That's Angel the cat. I really like the way that these are packaged. Really cute. So it's quite darker than, oh, I suppose it is like the swatch. These are apparently made with honey, so they're a lot smoother. So that's nice. Then we've got the Jackson's Quinacridone Gold. That looks more like an amber in the pan. And then we have the Roman Szhmal Misty Morning. Try and keep that little swatch so that we can compare whether it looks like that or not. So it looks quite of a grey indigo, well no, not an indigo, like a petrol blue in the pan. So I'm going to be doing these on different parts of my sketchbook because this is my swatching book, so I've got different pages for each paint. So this is a Roman Szhmal page, so I'll be doing Earth Green and Misty Morning on here. And then I've got a Schminke Horadam page, which I'll do that on, and I've got a Jackson's one, which I'll do that one on. So we're going to do that now. This is little Angel. What's all this noise is coming from? So she's sitting in the sun, but she's talking to us. Oh, yeah, you talking? No. Yes, you are. What are you saying? Angel? What are you saying? You talk to me. What are you saying? Angel. Meow. So I'm going to swatch here. I've had to put you on the side just because I haven't quite got the equipment yet to do the proper overhead. So I'm going to swatch these out and then I'm going to move the camera so you can see it. Which isn't ideal, but it's all I've got at the minute. And obviously it's really sunny today, so we've got a bit of light at the back. We've got a cat as well. It's a nice colour, this. It's quite transparent. It's exactly what it says on the tin. It's very earth green. It's very delicate. Quickly show you that one. As you can see, it's a very delicate earthy green. And then we're going to go for the Misty Morning. Try and get that down here. Oh, split it a bit. It does have seems to have like a pinky pigment in it as well. I don't know whether it does, I need to check out the pigments. that's Misty Morning. I've splattered a bit. So we'll see what they dry like. As I say, there is pink in there, and you can see from this swatch that there is pink in there, or more of a lilac, which you can see around the edge. I don't know if it's a granulating paint, but yeah, they actually look really nice together, those two. So we're going to let them dry, and then I'll show you what they look like. So we're just going to do the Jackson's Schminke Horadam Gold. I've just popped it in this little palette, just with a magnet on the back, just to keep it in place. It's very like an amber colour, really nice. Sunflower yellow, rich, burnt sort of gold colour, I would say. Yeah, great for the middles of flowers. Let me show you. It's a lovely rich amber yellowy gold colour. So we're now going to try we're going to swatch the Schminke Horadam Haze Pink on my Schminke Horadam page. So the pigment colours of this are PL233 and PB36. This is apparently very delicate. Oh, it's like blue. Apparently it's a very delicate, like very transparent colour. But from the bit that's just come out, it doesn't look like that. But let's see what happens. There's definitely pink in there, but there's some blue or grey, purple. It's definitely self-granulated. It's quite a lot more than I've had on any other granulated one, which is good. So this is going to be for a specific project, very natural nature project. It's less pink than I thought it was, but it shouldn't cause too much of a problem. So let me just show you. That's what it is at the moment, and we'll let it dry, because they do dry quite differently. So whilst that other page is drying, and then I'll show you all the swatches I've done once they've dried, I'm testing out the Jackson's tape now. So I've popped it in one of my Moleskine sketchbooks. So I've done a little square, so I'm just going to do some washes and use some different materials over it. Then we'll let it dry, and then I'll take off the tape, see if it rips the paper and how well it holds the paint within the square. So I'm going to start with some just watercolours, just from my travel palette, because this is it to hand, and I'm just going to use this brush as it's here. So I'm just going to do some little washes. This is Moleskine paper. It's in a Moleskine art sketchbook, but the paper's not very thick and it's very smooth, but it does actually hold watercolours. So I'm just going to do a little landscape scene with some different things. So we're going to have Tomboy Blue Sky. And we're going to have some greenery. Trying to use as many materials as I can so that we can see what happens. So let's got our beige, that'll do. The best, but it'll give us an idea. And what is we're just going to let that dry and then I'm going to take the tape off. So this is the haze pink now it's dry. So as you can see there is pink in there, there's purple, blue, you can see all those colours in there. Then we have the Green Earth by Szhmal. We have Misty Morning, which is really nice. It's like a bluey purple. Then we have the Chrome Dark Gold by Jackson's. It's a really lovely amber colour. And it seems to have dried quite vibrant as well. So that's really nice. So I'm just going to remove this tape now. The rough picture is dry. See if this... now I didn't like... You know when they say sometimes, oh, dab the tape on your clothes just to get the tackiness off. I didn't do that beforehand because it's supposed to be low tack. And I wanted to try it for definite. So let's see, it's quite sticky. Like it's like stuck on well. But there was no tearing on that bit. Yep, no tearing on that bit. So as I say, it's quite sticky, like it sticks well. No, so far no tearing, which you do get quite often on Moleskine because it is quite thin. So far so good. Last bit. Yeah, perfect. Left any bit on there. There's a slight bit there, but I think there could just be a bit of glue. But yeah, it's kept the bleed, but there's no bleed underneath. So yeah, that's worked really well. Very impressed with that. So I hope you like my art haul from Jackson's. So if you like it, please like, subscribe and ring that bell. And I'll see you next time for another YouTube video. Bye for now.